Greetings viewers, Eric the Car Guy here, also known as ETCG1 on this here channel. On ETCG1 we talk about stuff automotive related. We don't do necessarily repairs. If you want repair videos, head on over to Eric the Car Guy. As you can see, I am in my Dr. Professor Eric the Car Guy getup. Some time ago I announced the coming of this guy to do a few videos. Is sort of to paint a picture of what an engineer might look like, or some mad scientist, you know, those smart people that we think about, you know, like Dr. Emmett Brown and the Back to the Future videos, that kind of thing. The topic of this video is those bleeping engineers. And I think as anybody that's ever repaired anything, I think we've all dealt with engineers, or we've had issue with engineering at some point, and we pointed the finger at them and said, those engineers. I'd like to put a little bit of perspective on that in this video, because I'm not of the opinion that all engineers are bad. Now, I'm not saying that there are some bad engineers out there, but let's put this in perspective. Engineers are basically scientists, applied scientists, if you will, and they spend a lot of time and effort to learn their profession. They go to school, they spend lots of money, they learn lots of math, they learn lots of theory, and they go out into the world and they basically design things to be made by human beings or machines, or to be made to be used by human beings, what have you. Engineers, they are a necessary part of our lives, and especially in the automotive world, we have a direct relationship with a lot of that engineering. And sometimes we look at that and we say, what mother engineer decided that it would be a good idea to put this fastener up here where I can't reach it, or that I can only access with a special tool, or that, you know, any number of things that engineers have done in the process of automotive manufacturing to make our lives, well, more difficult. I just want to put this in perspective because I hear this a lot. Engineers aren't necessarily all bad. In fact, quite the opposite. Engineers are on our side in many ways. They might not think like us. I mean, they may be capable of figuring out the coefficient of drag on the ceramic tiles of the space shuttle as it re-enters the atmosphere, but unable to install a roll of toilet paper. You know, some of them are kind of like that. They just can't, they're idiot savants, if you will, and they're really higher functioning when it comes to mathematics and theory and complex things, like Einstein, for example. But, you know, when it comes down to those down-to-earth things, when it comes down to practice, which is where we are as technicians and DIYers and people that fix things, we have a completely different perspective. And we look at those engineers on high and we say, you know, I wish you would have done a better job at this. I wish you would have done this differently. In some cases, you're absolutely right, but I'm going to come to the defense of them and sometimes and also interject that engineers are not the only people that are involved in the manufacturing process or the creation of a given vehicle. Engineers are part of that. You know, they're hired by the manufacturer. The manufacturer says, okay, the design department has come up with this new concept and we want you to realize it and make it come to life. And you know, our marketing department says blah blah blah, customer wants this and this and this, and we want you to build it for us, make it out of nothing. You know, that's what engineering is. Think about this. You're taking like nothing and bringing it into something. You're bringing it into the world. And that's a pretty amazing thing. You know, I've always thought, you know, hey, I'd love to be an engineer, but I'm not all that great with math, if I'm honest. And truthfully, I'm much better with my hands underneath the hood of something than I am behind a desk trying to conceptualize and, you know, bring something into the world, as I just said. So I respect that. You know, I respect what they're doing. But once again, there's a lot of people involved in that chain in the creation of that automobile. Let's just use automobiles and stick with that for the rest of this. You've got all these people working together and sometimes working against each other. Like, say for instance, like I talked about earlier with the design department wanting this in their finished product. And then the people in finance step in and they say, well, you know what? We think you need to change this material that you're using for this particular part because it costs a lot less to produce if we use this material. And then the engineer says, well, I designed it to be used with this material, and if you don't use this material, then I'm not going to be able to give you the longevity that you asked for in the first place. Well, they say, well, make it work. You know, and this is all purely speculative, but I imagine these conversations happen all the time in the world of manufacturing. And I don't think it's completely and totally the engineer's fault when you get to a certain You know, when you get to that finished product and you find out it's very difficult to work on because of this. I don't think they intentionally go out and do these things, because if you think about it, well, it could be just they forgot or didn't notice or didn't see. I mean, these days it's a little bit better because you've got a lot of computer aided tools that can help you through that design process to help you locate potential problem areas. That's what those things are supposed to be for. But, you know, the computers are made by humans, therefore they are flawed in some way, and they're, you know, they're not infallible, and they do make mistakes. So here we are. We're the ones that are laying on the driveway in the snow or whatever, trying to do something, trying to perform a repair, and we're cursing the person that designed it, that brought this hunk of crap into the world as it is. Well, the next time that happens to you, I want you to think that it might not necessarily be the engineer that's at fault. It could be somebody else in that chain that is all involved in the creation of an automobile that you drive and love and whatever. Not saying give the engineers a total break, because I know some of you are probably engineers, maybe watching this program, but I am saying that you need to sort of change your thought process. You can't blame them entirely. You can't just point the finger and say it's all the engineer's fault. So what are your experiences with engineering? And what do you think about what has been presented in this video? In addition to the comments below, I'm going to put a link in the description to a forum discussion about this topic, and to get your input and see what you think about those engineers. Also, if you have automotive questions, I would ask that you head over to ericthecarguy.com, type in a couple of keywords to the search function at the top of that page, and it's quite possible you may get an answer to your question like right then and there. However, if that's not the case, I would ask that you sign up for our forum. It's absolutely free. All you need is an email address. Just be sure to respond to the confirmation email that should show up in your inbox, but if it's not there, check your spam folder just in case. And if you wish to connect with me socially, you can do that on Google+, Facebook, and Twitter. And I close each and every video with, be safe, have fun, and of course, stay dirty. ETCG. Later.